are no longer counting days, we are now counting hours to that titanic battle between the Super Eagles of Nigeria and the Pharaohs of Egypt at the 2021 Africa Cup of Nations in Cameroon. On that note, my name is Oluwafemi Ashal, and I welcome you to the preview of that game. As far as AFCON is concerned, in the studio I have usual suspect Kayode Ogundare. Kayode Ogundare, you're welcome.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
I hope you're already in the mood for the Africa Cup of Nations.
Wait.
Yes, the excitement is so much in the air, and today on the show, like we've always promised, we'll be taking you ever closer to the action. We have the head-to-head record between Nigeria and Egypt for you, and also as far as AFCON is concerned, and of course, in all competitions, we'll be looking at preparation of both teams, you know, the probable lineup of the Super Eagles and the formation, where the game can be lost and won. How do we tackle this man called Mohamed Salah? And of course, we'll be taking predictions from you. What do you think? How do you think that game will end? So, of course, you can leave a comment for us in the comment section. So today, just relax and know that we'll be taking you ever closer to the action card, and I'll be doing justice. We'll be bringing you all the facts and figures and things you need to know as far as that game is concerned. Of course, remember Super Eagles played a friendly, and thankfully they won 2-0 against Cotton Sport. So today on the show is going to be a bumper edition. So let's quickly go on this very brief break. We'll be back to get into discussion proper. Please stay with us. Yeah, welcome back, and it's still Nigeria Superfans Forum. Like I said, the Super Eagles game against the Pharaohs of Egypt is right there upon us. It will be taking place on Tuesday, and I said Kayode is in the studio. And quickly, Kayode, let's look at the head-to-head between Nigeria and the Pharaohs of Egypt. We've met 18 times in all competitions, you know. Then Super Eagles, we've won 8 times. We drew 5, you know, and went to the now. But the last time we met at AFCON, that was in 2010 in Angola. It didn't really end well for Nigeria. It was also a group opener in Group C. Exactly. We lost 3-1.
But we opened scoring through Chinedu Obasi, and the Egyptians came back with three solid goals.
Okay, but let's look at it. This is a different ball game entirely. Now, what do you think will likely happen in that game on Tuesday? Where do you think the tide will likely swing? With all these records.
See, like I always say, records are made to be broken. Records exist until they are broken. Fine, if you look at the record, we could fairly say Nigerians should go home and sleep. They have nothing to fear. That the worst we could get from this is a draw. Having secured 8 wins and 5 draws from 18 games.
In all competition previously.
That's a very, very good average against any team, especially the Egyptians. But football is not mathematics, like we always say. There will always be that turning point where the Egyptians will say, you know what, we want our pound of flesh against these Nigerians. And whether you like it or not, the Egyptians will come fully loaded. They will come at us with all guns blazing. It is now left for us how we react.
Are you scaring us now?
No, I'm not. I'm just being practical. I'm being honest with everybody. We should not think we have a good record against the Egyptians. But if there's a team that can stop the Egyptians, we should count among those teams. I'm not saying we are the team. We should count among the teams that will be able to stop Egypt. But it's not going to be easy. It's going to be blood.
But the last four record in competitive game has also not favored Nigeria. Exactly. We've not defeated Egypt in the last 4 competitive games.
That's what I'm saying. We've not beat them at the AFCON. The last 2 times at the AFCON in 2010 and 1990. No, the last time we beat them was in 1990. When we beat them 1-0. Since then, we played them in 2010.
They was 3-1.
In 1994, we played a draw.
Yeah.
In Tunisia.
Of course. Goalless.
In 2010, we lost 3-1. So if you look at that, we cannot bank on a 31-year record. The last time we beat them was in. No, there have been much more recent records that they can also lay claim to that. You know what? The last time we played the Nigerians, we won 1 and we drew 1. So for them, it's a pretty good record at the AFCON. And the last time we failed to qualify for the AFCON in 2017, it was because Egypt stopped us. Actually, they drew 1-1 in Kaduna and won 1-0 in Alexandria.
Yeah.
So for me, if you look at this AFCON, the team, they have the upper hand based on the results we've gotten and everything. But overall, I think we still have a better record than them. However, like I said, records are meant to be broken, to be thrown into the trash can, and you have to wait until the end of 90 minutes to decide who is going to go home with victory.
Okay, in case you've forgotten, in 2019, Nigeria defeated Egypt 1-0 in an international friendly. I wouldn't forget that stunner from Paul Onuachu. But let's look at preparation now, Kayode. We've had a very stormy preparation. I'll put it out for Super Eagles of Nigeria.
I will not call it stormy.
Why?
We've not had the preparation.
We've not had as far as you're concerned.
Although, in fairness, that should apply to like 75%.
But it cuts across, yeah.
No, 75% of teams. We've not had any preparation.
Yeah.
The only match we played going into this AFCON was against Cotton Sport, a club side in Cameroon. Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, the Egyptians have had the opportunity of playing 6 quality games at the Arab Cup in Qatar.
But not with the A-list players, because when you don't have the likes of Mohamed Salah and Tracy Ged who've been injured.
If they had the so-called B list or whatever list you want to call it, and they're able to the semi-final of the Arab Cup, then you should give credit to these guys. So what that means for me is that if Salah, El Neni and rest
it's just Arab Cup. It's just Arab Cup. It's just Arab Cup.
It's just Arab Cup. You're just being overly patriotic.
I'm trying to boost the morale of Super Eagles right now.
No. Let's be honest. Let's be practical. We are looking at the quality of preparation of both teams. Like I said, I'm not going to blame the Super Eagles for this lack of preparation, so to speak, because COVID-19 has just forced everybody's hands against our wish. Mm-hmm. So, but they were lucky. The Egyptians were luckier. They've had this competition that came at the right time for them. They had 6 quality games. They went up to the quarter semi-finals, and they lost the losers finals too. So for me, that will count for something. Mm. But like some of our players have also said, and I agree with them, the fact that we have players who have come through the ranks together, who have played together all this while, should also count for something. My fear now is the mental state of
mental readiness of the team.
The mental readiness. See, player for player, I tell people everywhere.
We are better.
We have players that can match any other team. Mm-hmm. But what separates Nigeria, the Super Eagles now, from all these other teams, what separates this current Super Eagles from the Super Eagles of 1994, 1996, 98, up to 2000 is the mental ability, mental fortitude. That's what we lack in this team. If we stand toe to toe with anybody, we can give as much as we get.
Are you still judging the team by what we saw under Genotro? What do you think?
Because you've not seen them.
Because Ugaben must have put it to them
after Genotro. Have you?
I saw them play against Cotton Sport.
Cotton Sport. You are deliberately trying to get to my desk. I will not allow you. You've not seen them. You cannot.
But really, that's the truth.
You cannot see them against Cotton Sport and tell me that even against Cotton Sport, Eguavon was gracious enough to admit that, okay, he played 2 teams. One team played the first half,
that's the second half, yeah.
And he admitted that there are still lapses, which I also admit that he cannot fix with one match.
It won't be perfect immediately.
Especially against a team that I'm sure Eyimba, Canopilas, and will easily defeat. So for me, we have not seen this play. Unfortunately, we are going to start preparation for the AFCON during the AFCON.
That was the fear a lot of people had when Genotro was sacked. Because people question the timing of that sack, yeah.
I don't want us to go back to the Genotro issue. It is dead and buried. So, but we should face the here and now. We are going to start preparations for the AFCON. And against no less a team than Egypt, of all teams. Although, looking at it the other way around, I think it's better we start with Egypt. Know where we are with them, unlike going to the last game against them, needing to win or to draw, and they needing the same. So if whatever we get from this team on Tuesday, from this match on Tuesday, we now bring out our calculators as usual, start calculating what do we need against Guinea-Bissau and Sudan. That for me is where we are at the moment.
Okay, Kayode, quickly before we go on a break, in 1 minute, let's look at the Egyptian national team. Don't you think the over-reliance on Mohamed Salah can just count for the Super Eagles? Because it seems it's just Salah.
That's in the imagination.
Because even Salah has actually stolen the attention, because I saw 2 bodyguards following him everywhere in Garoua.
That's to be understood and appreciated, given his profile. But I think it is in the imagination of Nigerians that we think the Egyptian national team is made up of Salah alone. No, that would be a grievous error, and I hope Eguavoen is not thinking the way
very costly assumption.
I hope Eguavoen is not thinking the way you are thinking. The Egyptian team is a team of very, very solid international players who are battle tested.
Home-based players who play together.
Yes,
they play together for a while. You just said they play at the Arab Cup.
Yes, that's the strength of the team. And that's what I don't want us to overlook, because we are going to be making the mistake the whole world made in 1986 when they thought once you stop Maradona, you have stopped Argentina. Maradona didn't get to score in the final against West Germany, but Maradona was the reason why West Germany lost that game, even though he wasn't on the score sheet. Everybody was thinking, stop Maradona, meanwhile you are giving the other players an opportunity to shine. So if we focus on Salah on Tuesday, we might just find out that we'll be loaded with goals from other players. So I don't want us to get into that fixation that we have to stop Salah and all will be well. No, we are going to stop Egypt, all their 11 players on the pitch.
After the break, we'll be back to talk about the probable lineup of the Super Eagles and the likely formation that Augustine Guamen might be putting out there. And of course, where you think the game can be won and lost. We'll be back. Please stay with us. Yeah, welcome back, and it's still Nigeria Super Fans Forum. We've been doing preview of the Super Eagles game against the Pharaohs of Egypt in Group D at the 2021 African Cup of Nations. We're just counting down hours to that encounter. Kyle, let's look at the possible lineup for Augustine Guamen, and maybe even the what do you call now, the lineup, and of course looking at the formation that Guamen will likely deployed in that game. Against Kotospor, we saw a 4-3-3 formation. What do you think would be the best? Because remember, he said if things doesn't go according to plan for him before Al-Shabaab decided not to release Gallo, he said he might likely be playing a false 9. So that might alter that kind of formation. But what do you think?
I think it will be shooting himself in the foot, trying to play for a false 9. Because this is, like I said the last time we talked about this, I said
it is not peculiar with the Super Eagles.
It is not. Just like the same mistake Genotro made when he tried very late in the day to introduce a 3-5-2 system going to the World Cup.
Yeah.
Very fine,
fantastic formation.
But it's something that you have to ingrain in the players. You cannot have players who have all their life, all their careers been used to playing
4 at the back.
Now decide to play 3 and
5 midfielders. Yeah,
it's going to be a little bit confusing for the players, and we saw that happen often because we saw patches of brilliance using that system, and we saw a cast of confusion too. So for me, that is a no-no. Now going into this game, I want Eguavoen to play to the strength of his team. If he's going to play to the strength of his team, let's look at the attack. Who do we have in the attack? We have an Awoni who is an out-and-out striker in the mode of Rashidi
Yekini because of power.
Richard Ogukiri, a Daniel Mokachi. So he's a power playing forward. Yeah. So we should be playing to his strength. And how do we play to his strength? He needs service. He needs lots and lots of service. So if you need 2 things, you need very fast wingers who can take on 1 person, 2 people, and put the ball in the box. Then you need a visionary in the middle. Somebody.
Perhaps in the person of Nwakali.
In Nwakali, exactly. You just spoke my mind. In Nwakali, all those who saw the practice game against Kotospor spoke very highly of him. Yeah. I spoke with people in the Super Eagles camp, and they said, you know what? As it is now, Eguavoen is confused about that boy.
I told you Egypt is in trouble. I told you.
I don't agree with that, but I'm very happy that we have Ekelechi Nwakali. And he has also been speaking intelligently. Yeah. He talks about the game in ways that you know that he knows what he's talking about. He talks about time and space.
Yeah.
Those are key for anybody, any ball carrying midfielder. And he talks about his long passes that can, I said last time about players who have the ability to split defenses with 1 pass. So if you have a player like that, and this boy is contemporaries with Awoni, actually they were in the Golden Eagles camp in 2013 together before Nwakali was dropped. Yeah. So they are like I've only
They
also
be
said
together.
they
Yeah.
are all friends. They have all
They
played
play
in their
together.
formative years, so they know
Even
each
in
other's
the
strengths.
age grade company. Yeah.
So for me, he's the kind of player that can always locate Awoniyi with a pass. So when we have players like Musa and Chidera, Ejuke on the wings, or a Chikwueze, for example, on the wings, we just need fast players who are light on their feet, who can dribble, who do not hold on to the ball more than necessary. Once we have those ones, any formation you are going to play should play to that strength. Once you are able to play, see, ultimately it's not about the formation that counts. It's about playing to the strength of your players. You can play 4-2-2 if your players are not good going forward. If you really be like you are just punishing them. So whatever formation Eguavoen wants to play, I wish him all the best, but he should play to the strength of the materials we have in camp as of now.
Okay, I think I need to take a deep breath before we come to where the game can be lost and won. Remember, Egypt, they have a very vastly experienced coach in Carlos Queiroz, who he served as assistant to Sir Alex Ferguson at Manchester United for a long time. He was also a coach at Real Madrid.
Exactly.
So I think this is where the experience will likely count in. Yes. What do you think, Kayode?
And like I said the last time, I said I praised Eguavoen's mentality. Talking, he has been talking tough, but you said I was doing PR.
Without pay.
Without pay. You know what? Until we see him walk the talk, I will go with what he has said so far. He sounds knowledgeable about what he wants to achieve with this team.
That is why he's the technical director of the NSF.
One. Then two, I think I'm liking the current generation of players that we are breeding in the national team. I listened extensively to Nwakali. He said something that gladdened my heart. He said he likes a formation where you attack in numbers. You understand that when you attack in numbers,
and you have to play your opponent.
Yes, there is always a possibility that you get goals, or you get goal scoring chances, you get penalties, you get something. You understand? So when you have a player who is thinking like that, then you also counterbalance it with. Once you mass attack, you should also be
mass defense. I was going to that.
Yes,
because that is very crucial. Our defense has been the weak link in this team.
If this game is going to be won and lost, it is going to be won in the middle. The Egyptians have perfected the art of counter play. You understand? They will sit down, soak up everything you want to throw at them. Don't forget, we are talking about mass attack. So the Egyptians, they have the ability to sit back. Soak up
and just throw the ball for Salah, someone like Salah.
We have to be very careful. That takes us to the defense now. Who are we setting up to play in our defense? The central defense has been a source of worry for me personally.
Serious for every football fan in Nigeria.
Because, for long we've depended on the Oyibo wall. The Oyibo wall has cracked. It's tired.
Like the Berlin wall, it's down now.
So we have to look at other people. Unfortunately, Leon Balogun is no longer there. So we are looking at Trustekong, Chidozie Awasiem, and
Kenneth Omero.
Out of those three, one person will have to be on the bench. From the body language of Eguavoen, it seems Chidozie Awasiem will be on the bench for Kenneth Omero and Trustekong. All I want is they should have positional awareness. That has always been the problem with Trustekong, especially. He lacks that positional awareness. Looking at around the surroundings.
2 seconds, right? Yeah.
Yes, 2 seconds. Yeah. That has always been his problem. Some people
even at Watford,
yes,
we've seen that this
season. Focus. It's not focus. It's about being aware of your environment, cutting out the danger before it even starts. That's where we have a problem. The problem with Omero, for me, has always been that of consistency. Omero can play his A game today. The next game will be a D. So for me, I hope both of them will come to the game on Tuesday with their A game so that we can get a good start, because a good start is always very crucial in competitions of this magnitude. Even
for the confidence of the players, a good start is very, very crucial. Before we go to the predictions, for me, I think I would love someone like Chidozie Awasiem to actually partner Ekong in the middle, in the defense, because look at it. Omero hasn't played a certain number of games for Legone this season, and for Alliance Sport, Awasiem has been irregular. So I think fitness-wise, if you look fitness-wise, I think he will be in the best position. Now, Kayode, let's talk about predictions now.
Predictions?
Yeah, I will allow you to take a deep breath.
Nigeria 10, Egypt 0.
Come on, man. This is not going to be India versus.
I wish we could have that kind of a result, or I wish CAF would just award point and say we have 3 points, Egypt have 3 points, go. The truth is, this game is going to be tight. Egypt are favorites going into this game, let's be honest. It will be a surprise if we get a win from this game.
Really?
Yeah, it will be a surprise. I'm not ruling it out, but it will be a major, major surprise for me. You understand? Because a win in this game for us could be counterproductive.
For Nigeria?
For Nigeria, if we win, as much as it is desirable.
Why?
It will cover a lot of cracks. This team is not in the best shape going to the world, going to the
AFCON.
to AFCON. So if we now get an unlikely win, it would send the wrong signals. Yet, if we do not win, it could also dampen the morale of the players. So that's why.
So can balance with the draw, right?
You're very smart. So I think I'll go for it.
Okay. So please let us know your prediction. What do you think that game will end with Nigeria against Egypt? It's just Tuesday, just very much upon us. So please let us know what you think will happen. Kade, before we will go, time is not on our side. Let's look at, very briefly, the changes CAF has made to the rules regarding the tournament, regarding COVID-19 regulations. CAF have said, okay, any team that is able to have 11 players fit, you must play your game. And any team that is not able to get up to that number, it means you forfeited a 2-0 to your opponent. But you were actually contending with that before we came into the studio.
Yeah, I was, and I say I think what the FIFA rules of the game says is that 7 players can actually start a game. So if, for example, your country now, not Nigeria, your country, if your country decides you have 7 players who are fit and ready to play, fine, by all means let them play. They have agreed, they've committed to play. So nobody will hold CAF or FIFA.
Maybe CAF thinks it will be uneven. If you have seven playing against 11.
See, COVID-19 has been an equal opportunity employer in this, so to speak. It has affected practically everybody.
Yeah.
So if you are lucky today, it doesn't mean you are going to be lucky for the next match. It could affect you at any time. It has been the pain of this competition. It's very, very unfortunate that it's rising up again at the onset of this competition, but it is beyond what anybody can do anything about. So I understand CAF trying to cover all bases by saying, you know what, you have to play if you don't, and because games cannot be postponed in this competition. And so I perfectly understand where CAF is coming from, even though I do not agree with them by saying if you don't have up to 11 players, you cannot play. No, if you have 7, 8, 9, 10,
no, they actually said if you do not have the number that you feel can play, you are going to forfeit
That's what
that
I'm
game.
saying. But if we have 7 and we decide, you know what, we want to play this game, we have nothing to lose. Actually, because if we don't play, we have lost already. But if we play, you never can tell. Miracles do happen.
Maybe just put 7 players in your defense.
Just put all 7 in your defense and you could get a draw. Worst case scenario. So for me, I think CAF should allow teams to decide. If that's, I do not pray for that situation to arise for any of the 24 teams. But if it does, CAF should allow the team to make that decision whether to play with 7 players, if they can have 7 players, because that's what the rule says.
But I don't really even see that happening, because that is why CAF allowed teams to have 20 players. I'm sure
it actually happen. We do not pray for it, but it could happen. You could wake up and
but that would be in a very, very rare scenario. And CAF have also will be allowing teams to make up to 5 substitutions in a game, and in a situation where the game runs into extra time, you allow countries to make additional substitution. Unfortunately, time is not always our friend. Anytime we come on Nigeria Super Fans Forum, please drop your prediction in the comment section below. Kayode Ogundare, thanks once again for coming to the show. And we wish the Super Eagles, I'm sure you're wishing the Super Eagles all
the best. Deep down inside me, my patriotic genes want us to win this game, like 3-0.
But there's always a but.
Realistically.
Okay. Once again, please drop your predictions in the comment section below. We'll be back to look at a review of that game. I'm Olúwafẹ́mi Káyọ̀dé. Bye for now. We wish the Super Eagles all the best.